The Chicago Bears will have the #1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. So now the question is, what will they do with that #1 overall pick? Will they keep it or will they trade it? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports All back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. And it has been a very difficult season for Bears fans. But we have finally made it to the end, and we finally got rewarded for going through this tumultuous season. That was the Bears finishing with the worst record in football, and man, was that hard. But finally, light at the end of the tunnel, we get the shiny #1 overall pick, and now it's time to talk about what the Bears will do with it. So again, if you guys are new to the channel, please do make sure to subscribe, because I do talk a lot of Bears football on this channel, and there's going to be a ton of off-season content, folks. Oh my goodness. I know that the season just ended, but the content is only going to come up now. Like, it's going to be so much content because we are talking about arguably the biggest off-season in Chicago Bears history. Let me repeat that. Arguably the biggest offseason in Chicago Bears history, not only because of the #1 overall pick, but also because of the fact that you have over 100 million plus in cap space, by far the most in the NFL. You've got on your hands your potential franchise quarterback in Justin Fields, and it's just so much to talk about. But let's start with this #1 overall pick, folks. Okay, so there's only two things you can do with this pick. Only two things. You can keep it or trade it. So which one is it, right? Is it that easy of a choice, 50-50? And you guys probably know, if you watch my videos, where I'm leaning towards with this choice right here of keeping it or trading it. Even still, I'll just mention it. So I am obviously of the belief that you must trade this #1 overall pick for a king's ransom in exchange, because you do have a quarterback on the roster that has shown you this year that he is worth keeping for the long term, worth believing in the long term, and worth surrounding in the long term in Justin Fields. And so Ryan Poles should, in his good conscience, trade this draft pick. But the answer doesn't just stop there, all right? The answer doesn't stop there, because you can do more. So my regular prediction is you trade the draft pick, right? You trade down and you go ahead and you get a boatload of picks and you surround Justin Fields with talent. But my bold prediction is Ryan Poles trades this pick multiple times. All right, hear me out. So taking a look at the draft order here, you guys can see on your screen, we've got a number of teams that need quarterbacks. We've got a number of needy teams here. You can just right off the bat say that the Texans need a quarterback, the Colts need a quarterback. You can say the Lions, maybe, again, long-term wise, Jared Goff, but the Raiders, certainly the Falcons, the Panthers, the Titans, the Jets. Like, you know, out of the 13 teams in the top order of the NFL draft, there are so many teams that need quarterbacks. So you could see scenarios where Ryan Poles literally, let's say he trades with the Texans, right? Trades down with the Texans for the #2 overall pick. Texans get the 1, get their guy in Bryce Young. He could then trade the Texans #2 overall pick, the one that he just acquired, to, let's say, the Colts at the 4 spot for even more picks, and then trades the Colts pick for even more picks with the Raiders, like at #7. So you get my point here, is it's not just one trade, it's multiple. So much so that you end up with this draft getting a boatload of draft picks that you can just absolutely just, you know, flush this roster with talent and just completely fill up in gaps and all the holes that you need because of how much draft capital you get. We're talking cheap labor here, people. NFL draft picks are the most valuable things you can have. And so that is what I believe Ryan Poles can do. That's my bold prediction here. All right, so whether or not they keep or trade the pick, to me, keeping the pick would be absolutely foolish. Absolutely foolish. There's too much demand for that #1 overall pick. There's going to be too many teams that are willing to give you the entire farm for you to keep that pick and just take Jalen Carter, right? Like for you to just take a defensive player #1 overall. They could pan out. They could be fantastic, but you have more than one hole on this team. Oh, boy, you have more than one hole on this team. So it would be smart. It would be in Ryan Poles' best interest to trade this pick, but not just trade it once, trade it multiple times so we can get as much draft asset and draft capital as possible. That's what I believe, folks. Let me know what you guys think of what the Chicago Bears should do. Leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for